Okay, so we're trying to talk about proving that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if you know a couple of things, opposite sides are congruent, then you have a parallelogram. And I like to use this form. Whoops. Let me fix that spelling misuse. There we go. Then you have a parallelogram. Okay, so opposite sides are congruent, then you have a parallelogram. And that's theorem, I believe it's 6-8. Okay, so when you're using your proofs, you want to use that one. Okay? All right, and remember, it's just like the properties we just talked about. Okay? All right, if all consecutive angles are supplementary, then you have a parallelogram. Okay, and that is theorem 6-9. Okay, so that one's pretty simple too. So in other words, if we're dealing with what we just had, okay, which was these two add up to 180, these two add up to 180, these two add up to 180, and these two add up to 180, then you actually have a parallelogram. Okay? All right, and that's theorem 6.9. Now, if opposite pairs of angles are congruent, then you have a parallelogram. And that is theorem 6-10, okay, that you would be using right there. And that's what that is saying out of the book. Okay, so when you're doing proofs on this stuff, when you're doing proofs or proofs, you're dealing with these theorems right here in this one. And also, if the diagonals bisect each other, then you have a parallelogram. And that would be theorem 6-11. Okay, so that's something pretty simple right there. Now, this is all proves that we have a parallelogram. What type of parallelogram, we're going to learn those types in a little bit. But I just want you guys to know is that these theorems do pop up quite a bit during this section. So when you're doing proofs on them, you do just need to take your time. Now also, the one that I just talked about last time, the parallelogram in purple. So if one pair of opposite sides is parallel and congruent, then you have a parallelogram. Okay, and that is theorem 6-12. Okay. All right, so those are the theorems we'll be using with this one stuff. Okay, and the one that I'm specifically talking about is this one right here. If you have this situation, then you're dealing with a parallelogram. Okay? All right. And so that's it for proving the quadrilaterals proving quadrilaterals to be parallelogram or not. You do need to take your time to work with them. If you look on page 371, you will find a summary of all these. 371. You will find a summary of all these to which you can use it, okay? All right, that's it for today, and I hope you guys really enjoy, because this is just some really easy stuff to work with, okay? Thank you. Bye.